Lewis Hamilton versus Michael Schumacher. It's a debate as old as Helmut Marko himself, but one that also just doesn't seem to die. In one corner, you have the man that took a floundering Ferrari to the top. In the other corner, you have the man that Mercedes poured their heart and soul into. Both of them delivered. Both of them set fire to the track. Both of them have legitimate claims to being the greatest drivers to sit behind the wheel. But there can only be one GOAT. Who is it? Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton? Michael Schumacher would make jaws drop with his sensational Formula 1 debut in 1991, qualifying 7th in a Jordan for the Belgian Grand Prix at the legendary Spa circuit. It didn't take long for the big dogs to notice his talent, and he was quickly snapped up by Benetton, where he won his first F1 race in 1992. And where did he win it? You guessed it, Spa, one of the toughest tracks out there. Over the next 4 seasons with Benetton, Schumacher went on a rampage. He clinched another 18 victories and 2 world championships. Schumacher secured his inaugural championship in a season marred by tragedy and plagued by intense hostility. Building a substantial lead of 20 points over Ayrton Senna, his adversary tragically crashed and lost his life at Imola. With the exception of Nigel Mansell's sporadic appearances in Senna's seat, Schumacher faced 2 disqualifications and a 2-race suspension due to various infractions, arriving at the season finale with a mere 1-point advantage over Senna's teammate Damon Hill. Following Schumacher's wide skid and collision with a barrier, he assertively maneuvered into Hill's path at the subsequent corner, eliminating the Williams driver and sealing the title. The controversy surrounding 1994 may have cast a shadow over some of Schumacher's remarkable moments of genius, such as his remarkable 2nd place finish in Spain despite being stuck in 5th gear. However, his 2nd championship title the following year served as a constant and dazzling display of his driving prowess. Schumacher relentlessly wore down his opponent as the season progressed. He showcased his brilliance by triumphing from 16th position at Spa, effortlessly navigating challenging conditions at the Nürburgring and executing a brilliant overtake on Hill at Estoril. With title number 2 in the bag, Michael Schumacher had made everyone stand up and take notice. Now let's flip the script. It's 2007, and a young Brit bursts onto the scene like a dazzling firework on New Year's Eve. No one could have anticipated the sheer brilliance this kid brought to the table. From the moment he joined McLaren in his debut season, Lewis Hamilton shattered all expectations. He was a whirlwind on wheels, leaving his highly acclaimed teammate Fernando Alonso in the dust. And get this, he was just 22 years old. Hamilton clinched an astonishing 4 race victories and stood on that podium an awe-inspiring 12 times. And although he narrowly missed out on the championship in 2007, by a single point mind you, this kid was here to stay. And then he stepped up to the plate in 2008 like an absolute boss. With Alonso out of the picture after some internal drama, Hamilton became the team leader, poised to showcase his true potential to the world. And boy, did he deliver. 5 race wins and 6 more podium finishes. The championship battle would go down the wire. In the final race in Brazil, Hamilton had to secure at least 5th place to clinch the championship. His rival, Felipe Massa, was gunning for the title with a victory. It was like a high-stakes poker game. In a race that was thrilling and drenched in rain, Hamilton grabbed that 5th place.
Slowly. It is, it's gone! Oh my goodness me! Hamilton's back in position again! 100,000 local hearts sink in the grandstands.
Snatching his first world championship and etching his name in history as the youngest champ ever at the ripe age of 23. Now, life isn't all sunshine and rainbows, is it? Hamilton faced a myriad of challenges in the following seasons. His McLaren car didn't always measure up to the competition, which was undoubtedly a bummer. And in 2011, his personal life took a hit, including a highly publicized breakup.
There's no question as we see him on the McLaren's touch.
In 2012, with his personal life back on track, Hamilton roared back like a lion on the hunt. 4 wins and a 4th place finish in the championship standings. Not too shabby, my friends. But then, he dropped a bombshell. He was leaving McLaren for Mercedes, a team on the up and up. Michael went down a different path though, joining Ferrari, a team in shambles that hadn't seen a champion since 1979. The man wanted to bring struggling racing royalty to the top. It was time for Schumi to work his magic. And boy, did he deliver! 3 wins in 1996, 5 more in 1997, the Schumacher-Ferrari combo was off to a roaring start. Okay, maybe that final race in Jerez, Spain didn't go so well. Schumacher tried and failed to ram Jacques Villeneuve's Williams off the road. Let's just say the FIA wasn't too pleased, and Schumacher's points and second place finish in the championship were stripped away. But those questionable antics aside, Schumi was just getting started. After a broken leg in 1999, the only significant injury in his career, Schumacher came back with a vengeance. In 2000, he made history as Ferrari's first champion in over 2 decades. And that was just the beginning of his reign. From 2001 to 2004, Schumacher went on an unprecedented spree, winning the championship for 4 consecutive years. In 2002, he bagged a mind-boggling 11 wins and finished on the podium in every single one of the 17 races. And in 2003, he broke Fangio's record by securing his 6th driving title. In 2004, he won a jaw-dropping 13 out of 18 races, sealing his 7th championship with a massive margin. I mean, seriously, the guy was in a league of his own. But little did anyone in the sport know, just 10 years later, a certain Brit would kickstart his own era of relentless dominance. So, 2013 rolled around, and Hamilton was ready for a new adventure. He hopped on board with Mercedes, stepping into the shoes of the legendary Michael Schumacher of all people. Mercedes wasn't exactly dominating Formula 1, but Hamilton's arrival changed everything. He became a front-runner, snatching pole positions, gracing the podium, and even securing a race win in 2013. Sure, there were ups and downs, but Hamilton finished a respectable 4th in the championship, setting the stage for even greater things to come. And here's where it gets crazy, folks. In 2014, major regulation changes hit the scene. Hybrid power units and reduced downforce. And guess who emerged as the dominant team? You guessed it, Mercedes. They were winning races left and right, as if they were giving them away for free. Hamilton found himself in a nail-biting season-long battle with his friend-turned-rival, Nico Rosberg. These two had been buddies and karting rivals since they were pimple-faced teenagers. Can you imagine the drama? The championship fight went down to the wire, with the final race in Abu Dhabi offering double points. Rosberg started from pole, but Hamilton wasn't having it. Rosberg encountered car trouble.
So Nico, box, box, box. Too many problems with the car. Box, box, box.
I would like to go to the end.
And Hamilton snatched that victory, securing his 2nd world championship and becoming the most successful British driver ever with 33 wins. But for anyone that hoped Lewis was going to go away anytime soon, the next 6 years were going to be bad news. He was just getting warmed up. He went on a rampage, dominating the following years like an absolute boss. 2015, championship number 3. In doing so, he had matched the legendary Ayrton Senna. 2016, another intense battle with Rosberg, but luck wasn't on Hamilton's side that time. Now, 2017 was the stuff of legends. Hamilton displayed his superior speed and precision, bagging 11 pole positions and breaking records left and right. With 9 victories and 13 podium finishes, he secured his 4th world championship over a certain Sebastian Vettel. And Mercedes, well, they were like a well-oiled machine, winning their 4th Constructors' Championship in a row. Hamilton and the team, best buddies. Fast forward to 2018, he equaled Juan Manuel Fangio's 5 world championships. It well and truly was hammer time. 11 wins, 17 podium finishes. The world was witnessing something truly special. You know what else could be something special? If you subscribe to the channel. In 2019, Hamilton kept chugging along, closing in on Schumacher's record. He secured his 6th world championship. And boy, was he getting closer to that ultimate prize, demonstrating consistency and precision like nobody's business. And in 2020, he would stand at the top with Michael Schumacher. Lewis secured his 7th world championship, 11 wins, 10 pole positions and 14 podium finishes. Seriously, this guy is a legend. And to top it all off, he was knighted by Prince Charles himself at Windsor Castle. He was now Sir Lewis Hamilton. In 2021, Lewis would find himself in an uncomfortably close fight with Max Verstappen for the driver's title, going hammer and tongue until the last race of the season, where the championship ultimately went to the Dutchman, albeit in a controversial fashion.
No, Mikey, no, Mike, that was so not right.
Toto?
Yes.
It's called a motor race, okay?
Sorry?
We went to car racing.
In 2022, well, we don't talk about 2022.
Sent into the Lecombe chicane, and they make contact. Hamilton rises up into the air. He's made contact with Fernando Alonso. George Russell goes.
For the longest time now, people have speculated whether Lewis would retire or not. For the moment, he doesn't seem to be slowing down. For Michael though, things were different. After finishing second in the 2006 championship, the aging superstar decided to hang up his helmet. We all thought it was the end, but surprise, surprise, in 2010, after a 3-year hiatus as a consultant to Ferrari, the 41-year-old couldn't resist the lure of driving for the newly formed Mercedes team, led by none other than Ross Brawn. Schumi gave it his all, even though he only managed to temporarily grace the podium once during his 3-year comeback. In 2012, Schumacher decided it was time to bid farewell for good. And what a career it had been.
I've decided to retire by the end of the year. It's good to say goodbye. And that's what I'm doing here with by the end of the season. And it might this time even be forever.
So what made Schumacher a cut above the rest? Well, it wasn't just his natural talent, though that was something to behold. He had exceptional ambition, confidence, intelligence, motivation, dedication, and determination. The guy had it all. He had a racing brain that could make split-second decisions, adapt to any situation and plan ahead, all while pushing his machine to the absolute limit. And let's not forget about his fitness level. The guy trained harder than anyone else, which allowed him to consistently perform at his best, race after race. His smooth and mechanically aware driving style made him a master of his craft. But Schumacher wasn't just a champion on the track, he was also a true leader, a team player. Ferrari loved this guy, and he loved them right back. They were a family, a true team. Michael was more than just a driver. When it comes to the numbers though, you've got to hand it to Hamilton. The guy's been in the game for 16 seasons and has raced in a jaw-dropping 320 Grand Prix since 2007. Schumacher, on the other hand, had a longer career, spanning 19 seasons and 307 races in 2 separate stints from 1991 to 2006 and 2010 to 2012. When it comes to records, Hamilton has blown past 2 of Schumacher's most significant records, the number of podium finishes and victories. He's racked up a mind-blowing 194 podiums compared to Schumacher's 155. And he celebrated 94 wins, leaving Schumacher's 91 in the dust. And when it comes to qualifying, Hamilton's dominance shines through with a whopping 103 pole positions, making Schumacher's 68 pale in comparison. But hey, numbers can be deceiving. We need to take into account that the number of Grand Prix held each year has increased over time. During the Schumacher era, it averaged 16 races per season, while in Hamilton's time it's been an average of 19. Lewis has simply driven more races in a far more reliable car than Michael ever did. Not to mention, he had the support of the flying Finn Valtteri Bottas as a wingman, with Valtteri not even being allowed to challenge Lewis during his most dominant period.
So you need to let Lewis buy into turn 13 this lap.
When you consider that, it's almost inevitable that Lewis boasts the better stats. And one cannot overlook Schumacher's unmatched ability to perform under pressure. His steely resolve and unparalleled composure in high-stakes situations set him apart from the rest. When things went wrong for Lewis in 2022, he more often than not complained.
I can't believe you guys screwed me, man. I can't tell you how pissed I am.
Putting down a team that had given him arguably the fastest car in history. Lewis has shown that when things go really wrong for him, he can lose his drive. Many would argue that this is not true for Michael. Furthermore, Schumacher's reign as the face of Ferrari's golden era cannot be undermined. He single-handedly resurrected a struggling team, leading them to 5 consecutive world championships and firmly etching his name in the Scuderia's storied history. Lewis, on the other hand, moved to a Mercedes team that absolutely nailed the new regulations in 2014 and were comfortably fastest on the grid. In the end, there's no denying the brilliance of both drivers in their respective eras, but I think, considering everything, Michael edges out Lewis, but only just. By the time they retire, I do think Lewis will do so comfortably as the greatest to ever hit the asphalt, and maybe even an 8th title, but for now, Michael Schumacher stands at the top. Yeah, I know, I'm gonna get massacred in the comments, but on the off chance you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out the one I did comparing Prime Sebastian Vettel to Prime Max.